Bam. I think we're live. Let me check Twitch.
I didn't get the notification.
Oh, thank the Lord my CPU is holding up. I was a little worried it wouldn't.
So far, give it
Bit of
time.
an old laptop. Let's see. Yeah, Twitch isn't showing anything just yet. Actually, it is.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Twitch is. Okay, and I'm gonna also double check YouTube is working too.
Yep, there I just got
Never
the
actually
notification.
streamed to YouTube before.
Oh, fun.
New waiters. Yes. No. Yes. Starfinder with 5 exclamation points. Okay, cool.
All the exclamations.
We're good. Bam. We're back. Well, we're here for the first time ever. We're doing, this is the first session of what we're calling Tabletopplers, where we just play tabletop role-playing games. Today, we're playing Starfinder, which is one that we've played before for like a total of 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So this will be fun. It's based off of, what is it, D&D 3rd? 2nd? I don't remember anymore.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
2
so
is AD&D.
Pathfinder was based off of 3.5, and Starfinder then is Pathfinder in space in the same universe. But I think they might have changed.
Oh,
some
it
of
is
the
the
rules.
same universe?
Yeah, it actually is. So if you look at some of the wikis, and maybe this is getting too far in the weeds, the planet that Pathfinder is on is the official Pathfinder is Golarion, and the story of Starfinder is that there was a gap that nobody knows what happened. Even long-lived races have no memory of that time. And during that time, Golarion disappeared, but then we all got the ability to travel across space.
Wait, the whole planet?
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's history, yes.
Okay,
So-
cool. Good to know. Well, I am Brennan Sam. I am joined here by my father, Tori,
Hello?
and Brady as our GM.
GM. Hello. Yes, Game Master. There's
Okay.
no dungeons here.
That's a good point. So
We don't know.
yeah, I didn't make the game. How are we starting this out? We're doing physical descriptions of our characters.
Yeah, so I'll have each of you give us a brief physical descriptions of your characters. Don't go too deep into it. We'll explore the rest of it throughout the game, but we want to give the viewers and listeners something to imagine as we go through this theater of the mind.
Okay. Why don't you kick us off, Pops?
All right. Well, as you guys know, and nobody else probably does, is being as there's only 3 of us right now, I'm going to be playing a couple characters just to make balancing a little bit easier. So my first character is a large, hulking, what we in the fantasy world would know as a minotaur, but a large bull man, and he doesn't wear any armor. He is got some sort of a let's say if you think of a minotaur in fantasy realm having like skulls and stuff hanging off of him, instead he has like little junk artifacts that he's found. All right, he's very into his junk.
You.
That's inappropriate. And he is kind of a quiet, almost bordering on a peaceful, indifferent kind of person. Carries a spear with him, but it doesn't look like it gets used a whole lot. So I guess that's his description. Oh, one thing you notice when you get a little close to him is he's not actually a living being. He is an android. An android who is built as they're called Noir in the Starfinder universe, but he is basically a minotaur, an android minotaur. And, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get to know him. My other character is his android buddy. He is also an android, but he is the race in Starfinder is called a Marquai. He's built to, he is kind of like a simian, a monkey race. I would call them large chimpanzees maybe, but he is a...
Whoa. Hey, chimps are different from monkeys.
Which ones have tails? Not apes.
Monkeys have tails.
Well, this guy has a tail, so there you go. That's an important aspect, is that he is an android who was built to resemble this Marquai, this simian race, and he is a gadget kind of guy. He's got pockets full of liquids hanging. He's got vials of stuff hanging off of him.
He's got pocket
full of liquids. That's right. He's got vials, attached to him. He's got a rifle that shoots out darts for pointy objects. He's got a small little weapon attached to him. Although he appears to be kind of what you would say Stargate the movie. Stargate the movie. We have neither of you have seen it. Okay, My Father Before Me coming up soon. Stargate the movie, there is a scientist that goes out with the military guys, and the scientist, of course, is completely out of his element because he's just a bookworm. I think that's what we'd get out of this guy. I guess I didn't give their names. Or give them names?
Yeah, you can give their names, yeah.
All right. So my big Minotaur guy, he's Toro 66. And my little monkey dude is CEHM 73. Also known as Chem, and he'd be the first one to tell you that CEHM does not sound out like Chem, but he's been around people who don't understand that. So that's what they call him.
What does it sound like?
CEHM?
Yeah.
It would be like Hem.
So
it depends what kind of C.
You put a lot of emphasis on the H.
Hem. It's not a silent H. It's important.
Whip.
Yes.
Okay, so I am playing a Solari. Wait, that's a class. I am playing. His name is Turin, which is my go-to name for any of my my players in these. Sorry, it's hard to. I can't multitask very well. My name for anybody in any tabletop role-playing game. I think I've had 3 D&D characters named Turin. I have at least somebody in D4, Diablo 4, and Baldur's Gate 3, so that's my standard.
And WoW.
And WoW, yep. WoW, he's a dwarf monk, the genesis of the name. But this Turin is not a dwarf. He is a race called the Sarkeesian. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, well, Sarkeesian, hopefully I don't offend any of them, because they're scary. They are 10 feet tall on average, though Turin is a bit of a runt by Sarkeesian standards. He's only 9.5 feet tall, but because of that, he's jacked. He's got to make up for it somewhere. And so he is a 9.5 foot tall man who is jacked. Although I'd in my head at least, he's jacked for somebody who is 9.5 feet tall. So he wouldn't necessarily appear to us as being particularly jacked. I think he's a very lengthy, a very lean, lithe sort of muscle. What else? Oh, yes. So he's a Solarian, which means he utilizes basically the powers of space, to put it, a little reductionist. But he is followed by the manifestation of his Solarian abilities. I don't know what the actual...
A moat.
Yes, a moat. That's correct. Which, when he's just chilling, it follows him around as a sort of just little ball of light, but when he's in combat, transforms into a sword. And I think that's pretty cool. I like the idea of just like the ball's floating around his head. Now he doesn't even have to say anything. He just thinks, and it just pops right into his hand. I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's called a swift action, right? To turn it into a... Okay, yeah.
What color is it?
It is like the moon. It is very radiant and beautiful, and it's white.
So it's cheese.
I don't have enough. It smells really bad. I couldn't think of any other adjectives, but it is white. It is radiant, as though it were a full moon. And I think that's probably all. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. My name's Brady. I'm the GM. I'll be playing literally everyone else in the universe. But more often than not, I'll be playing a character named Fen Arkfell. So Fen Arkfell is just a normal guy. He isn't obsessed with his junk, and he doesn't have pockets full of liquids, and he doesn't have a ball floating around his head.
Well, he's
But-
lame, was what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Fen Arkfell...
Why is he here?
He's here because I want to play the game too.
And we need another person.
Yeah. Fen Arkfell is a canine-type humanoid. He's called a Vlaka. That's what his race of people is called, Vlaka. He's a Vlakan. And he is what is known within Starfinder as an envoy. So he's going to be a very charismatic gentleman who's going to try to talk his way out of things, but he isn't afraid to get down and dirty when he needs to.
Excellent.
Okay. With that, I guess we'll get into it. So just to set the scene, this takes place where most Starfinder adventures take place. It's like roughly 137 years after the gap that you talked about, where people lost all of their all the memory of the time before the gap.
Yeah, that's not a lot of time at all. Only 130 years? That's kind of crazy.
A lot of advancement in 130 years.
Well, yeah.
And so we'll start our adventure. You're all seated at a large conference table inside the headquarters of Garflax's Dirty Jobs, a company known throughout the Pact Worlds for taking just about any job that's offered within reason, and that reason, cold hard credits. For whatever reason, each of you have found yourself at this point in your lives in which you've taken a job offer at such a company. As you're sitting there in a conference room waiting for what seems like hours, a goblin, unlike any you've seen before, walks into the room. Whereas normally space goblins that you've seen before are thin and big-headed, this one is rotund, such that his head looks almost small in comparison to his body. In a juxtaposition to his greenish-grayish skin, he is bedecked in extravagant, gaudy attire. A bright purple shirt with a smattering of gold stars. The top few buttons are undone, revealing a patch of graying chest hair that is bursting from it.
Hot.
Yeah.
King of the stern bush.
Matching that graying chest hair are big, bushy eyebrows above his dark red, smiling eyes. Sorry, I got tied up in another meeting. You're the new guys, right? Great, in that case, he pulls out a data pad. Okay, hello and welcome to Garflax's Dirty Jobs. My name's Garflax, and I want to welcome you to the family, yada yada yada. You'll be joining as Retrieval Engineers Level 1. Without brave and daring people like you, the company wouldn't... okay, where's the important stuff? In the event of an untimely demise... No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay.
Will we get these emailed to us?
Yeah, they'll be on your data pads. Don't worry. This is all just...
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take time to look it over.
Yeah. Okay, you're all joining, as I said, as Retrieval Engineers Level 1. Typically, an RE1 would only be responsible for simple salvaging, cleanup, repair, and return jobs. But this is different. Lucky for you guys, we just got this big whopper of a contract, and all of the other REs are otherwise indisposed. Okay, so Garflax hands you each of a data pad with a document pulled up on it. It is not what was promised to you, which is the untimely demise, the rest of your contract. Instead, he goes, here are your company data pads. Don't lose them. On the screen, you'll find the full readout for your first job. You have been given the exclusive contract to perform a standard components and materials retriever of the Ramos Pioneer. So, you're gonna go to we're gonna give you a ship. You're gonna have to be at the docking station early tomorrow morning.
How early?
Docking station 8. Early enough. I don't know how time works.
I don't know if there's time in space.
I don't know how time works on a space station. Tomorrow morning, after you guys wake up, after normal night rotation, be at docking station 8. There you'll have your ship. It'll take you to the Ramos Pioneer. There you'll have to board the ship, salvage as much as you can, and then of usable materials, usable, valuable materials that are on the ship when it departed, and then you'll have to return. So you'll get 2,500 credits for this job. I'll take my cut, of course.
Of course.
And then
2,500 each.
2,500 total. Settle down. Your RE1s.
How many
You're
of us are there again? 5?
Well, if he taking his cut, then that's 5.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Okay.
You know.
Plus, you will get 5% in equivalent UPB and credits of what you return.
UPB.
UPB is Universal Polymer
Polymer base.
Polymer base. So it is like a way of like keeping track of like things like as raw materials, and then like you can use that to like craft new things with enough time and skill checks and stuff like that. One UPB is equal to 1 credit.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's giving us 500 credits and then just a pile of sludge to play with.
Pile of stuff.
5% of what you bring in. And
Oh, so we really need to bring a lot. 5%.
this is your first job, guys.
Whoa! I thought you said we'd done work for him before. We should have some rapport here.
Where was I? Oh yeah.
Being derailed.
Sorry, we didn't mean to complain about
That's
the
okay.
reward system.
That's okay. There'll be plenty of other times along the way to make money.
500 is half what we started with. It's acceptable.
He's Garflax's dirty job. It's not Garflax's handouts for everyone.
Lucrative jobs. Yeah. Where's the lucrative?
So that's the job that the Dimalcan Guardians gave to us. However, and this is on the hush, don't talk about this. An undisclosed third party has reached out to me when they heard of this mission. And they have given you an extra mission of finding evidence of what happened to the Remos Pioneer. If you're able to do that, you'll get 5,000 credits.
Each?
Is that including your cut?
Total! Okay.
So what
So,
happened?
Here I'll hand you out each 1,000 cred sticks.
Cred sticks, they sound delicious.
Yeah. Low fat cred
Thanks, Olive
sticks.
Garden.
Low fat cred sticks. So here are each 1,000 cred sticks to get what you need for the journey. You'll be keep track of everything that you get along the way. You'll be reimbursed for a certain amount because we're not monsters.
Each?
Okay, so you have your 1,000 credits. Get what you need. Be at the Star Dock at Dock 8 tomorrow to meet your ship. And then, and there you'll meet your crew. We have a rule of one person capable of flying and piloting the ship needs to be on the ship at all times in case the rest of you can't make it and the ship needs to be returned because of company property. So one of these people will always be stuck staying in the ship. The other person will accompany you on the mission. Any questions?
No.
Where do I sign?
Right on the data pad.
Agree. I scroll through the whole terms of service and hit agree.
It's like 30 pages long.
I accept.
Excellent. Okay, then I'm off to work. You guys, good luck. I hope you come back. We're really short on RE1s. Toodaloo!
Is that because they get promoted so fast?
Yeah, the ones that survive. He whispers, the ones that survive. On the way out. He's already shut the door. He's already gone. Whoop, Star Trek door goes whoosh,
In the Jeffrey Tube.
behind you. Okay. Okay, so we talked about the mission, the Remos Pioneer. So, right, you guys, you've heard of the Remos Pioneer before.
Okay.
It
that
is-
was what I was going to ask. Is what can I
Yeah.
do? What can I? Computers. Get on the infosphere.
So, yeah.
And see what I can find out. News articles, anything like that.
Okay, roll a computers check.
Computer.
Or a culture check, and you can do that too. And you can do it for both of your characters.
Oh, this is a fancy die.
Well, yeah, it's the best one. All right, I'll do computers on Chem for a. Oh man, I can't even read that. What is that? An 18 for a 30.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it.
Darn
Okay.
tootin' it will.
What did you roll?
I haven't
Turin.
rolled yet.
Like you do computers or culture or
Well, I have no bonus to either of them. So I rolled a 9.
okay, so you don't know anything. You've heard the name, but I am assuming that Kem will share this information with your new crew members.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of a crew.
Okay. Okay, so the Remos Pioneer is this. You remember reading about it a lot, and you just recognize the name Turin. But Kem, after getting on the computer, you do a lot of research, and you realize that the reason you remember this is because the Remos Pioneer was this ginormous starship that departed from, I want to say, Dimalk. What is it? Dimalka? The planet of the Demai.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the race of people, is called the Demai. Departed in hopes of finding a new world because their world had been affected by something they called the Awakening, where horrible earthquakes just shattered like all of the ground, and then gigantic monstrosities just started appearing, and it drove them all underground, and they had to live in like these large caves underground. And this one sect of people, of these Demai, they got fed up with this, and so they created this ginormous starship, the Remos Pioneer, to have thousands of people and like all of their stuff to go off and try to find another planet where they could sustain themselves and they could call their own. However, that was about 10 years ago. However, once it like departed, it went into drift space, and then it was never heard of again. The Remos Pioneer, for these 10 years, has been completely dark. There's been no communication, no confirmation that they ever found a planet. They never tried to communicate with the rest of the Pact Worlds. Until a couple weeks ago, there was the first transmission received from the Remos Pioneer in those 10 years, in the middle of the Vast, which is just outside of near space. It's largely unexplored territory that is capable of sustaining life, but vastly unexplored, called the Vast.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder where they got that from.
Yeah.
It's vastly there.
And then, but that's all that you know. Everything else has been shrouded in mystery. But now you know, for some reason, Garflax's Dirty Jobs has been contracted by the Dimalcan Guardians, which are the leaders of the planet that they came from, the leaders of the Demai people that existed before, and an undisclosed third party who, for some reason, is very interested in finding out what happened.
So
Okay.
the Dimalcans just want us to.
Demai.
The Demai just want us to strip it and recover stuff from it.
Yep, as much as you possibly can, because they took an entire entire community's worth of things with them when they left.
Right. And so then the third party wants to know why they lost contact.
Yeah, what happened along the way?
Okay.
And you can't just figure it out. You have to find hard evidence of what happened to get the extra 5,000 credits
All right.
total.
Okay.
Each.
So so what is there like a I guess there's no point asking until we get on the ship, but like I don't know how the standard ship layout is. Do they have like a deck with like a computer deck where they keep records, or do we just go to like the the bridge to communications area.
Roll an engineering check.
Oh, I have no
And-
bonus in that either.
And you
Do
can
you
aid
have
him.
any bonuses?
12.
Okay, so 12, it's not that hard of a question. You've been around a lot of starships. You know that something this big, and again, it is ginormous, it would have a flight deck, it would have med bays, it would have cryo chambers, security desks, any kind of thing, cameras everywhere, because it's the future.
Was it supposed to be like a generational ship,
Mhm.
you know, where they're just migrating?
Yeah,
So they're taking everything?
They were migrating, taking everything from their sect, and so there would be like stuff to like 3D print and like full like sustainability, like
Lots
hydroponics.
of UPBs.
Oh, yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes, it is a fully like you could live on it for years, and
So did they have a specific destination in mind, or they were just flying out?
you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that you don't know.
Well,
you
I
just
hope
know
they
that they're
have-
trying to find it.
I hope they have a destination, because just going out into space does not seem very intelligent to me. You know, there's a lot of space.
Yeah, so if you're gonna live forever in your ship, then I guess you're okay. You don't care which way you're going, but we'll have to see. So how far out is it? I mean, what are we talking? Do we have to drift travel, or do we just get to fly out there, or what's the plan?
You know that now that you know that it's in the vast, you know that in drift space it is going to take you a while to get there.
Okay.
And that is going to be dependent upon the drift engine that is going to be that you're going to find out tomorrow how good your ship is.
Okay, that doesn't make me feel very confident.
But yes, it will be a drift space. It'll most likely be at least multi-day journey. Okay.
And the 1,000 you just mentioned giving us, that's we're just flavor texting our starter
Yeah.
money.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. You're not going to get an extra.
Like I'm not
1,000.
each. So I'm just saying I don't have to go shopping quick.
No, you don't have to go shopping,
Okay.
but we are going to flavor text it as you guys are going shopping. Let's real quick just talk about your gear. Don't have to go into everything, but just again enough that our viewers and listeners aren't completely lost when we get into things. Brennan, let's go first with you.
What did I pick up? I don't know what all of this I bought. What of this was already here? I definitely bought that. An attentive guidebook, some binoculars, a tactical shield, comma basic. You gifted me this, so thank
You're
you.
comma basic.
You're basic.
Apocalypse crystal, comma shard. The the enviro sensor, which I believe I've put in my second skin, which I believe
What is a
is a
second
piece of-
skin?
I think it's a piece of armor.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like one of the
Um,
like the base armors that you get.
Yes. It doesn't show anything anywhere though on this apart from second skin. Okay.
Well, it would
It's
affect
a
your KAC.
second skin is a light armor that it's like a +1 to KAC or +1 to EAC and +2 to KAC or something like that.
Yeah, if you look on your armor class thing, it says armor bonus.
Oh, yes,
as
I
two of the
see.
boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, that is correct. And then that's all I've got. You know, I'm pretty light.
Well, so you don't. I mean, like you said, you've got your moat for your weapons. So you don't have to buy a weapon necessarily.
Yes. So my headcanon for my character was that he was a hired assassin who I liked the idea that he just went in and got out as like an actual assassin with a sword, not like one of these lame snipers. That's basic. You know, there's no fun in that. That's not exciting.
So the first
As
time
a-
we meet something flying at range, you're just gonna stand there.
I'm just gonna go wave my.
a gun. don't believe me. I made a note of that.
Dang it! I shouldn't have said anything.
I have your character sheet.
Oh yeah! Dang it! I did send that in the Discord.
Okay. Kem and Toro.
Okay, so Toro, like I mentioned, he grew up, or his original job was he was a junk guy, kind of like a junkyard dog. He was he was first commissioned to guard and to do manual labor in a junkyard. You know, so anything he has is mostly a load of crap. He's got I did grab some of the basic equipment. He's got a large backpack. He tries to carry around a bunch of junk with him. The reason for that, you'll find out, is that he is he's not your traditional melee guy. He's a technomancer, leaning towards the junk side of things. So there are spells that he does that actually does stuff with the junk. It's also why he does, and I'm going to say junk a lot. Super inappropriate.
Maybe like scrap.
The scrap.
I think junk.
I like junk. Keep it junk.
He's
I
got
think
magical junk.
From
the GM has ruled.
So he, so he didn't buy any armor because he has the ability to create armor. He didn't buy a weapon because he can create a weapon using his skills and stuff. He does carry around, like I said, he carries around a spear because he wanted to be able to throw things in case we encounter things at range. So
He's pretty short-sighted to me.
So he does have a spear with him, which a tactical, fancy space spear, obviously, because we're in the future. Other than that, he's the kind of guy who has spent his life digging through refuse and junk in the scrap heaps and stuff. And for example, like you mentioned, he likes to provide for his team. He is a guard through and through, and that's why he's here to protect Chem. He did find the shard for you. He bought a couple what we'll call healing serums and handed them to Chem because he knows that Chem will be able to control that kind of thing. So other than that, he did buy, like I said, backpacks and basic equipment, some rope, things of that nature, just to be a little prepared. Chem, on the other hand, needs his gadgets. He is a handy-dandy little guy. In fact, he knows what UPBs are, so he will be able to craft things for you. He starts out with a rifle. He is a biohacker who delivers his special skills through serums and biohacks that are part of his injectable weapon. So he's got a rifle that shoots out darts, and he's got a little pistol that is, I bought a weapon mount for him, so it's always mounted to his armor. So in a way, he kind of resembles a lightly armored Mandalorian or something like that, where he's got a little shoot out his little small arm through there, and that is also an injection weapon for delivering his stuff. Now, he will tell you all right off the bat that every day he's got this, in the Star Trek world we call it a tricorder, but he's got this scanner medical lab that he always has handy. And one thing he does every day with you guys is do a checkup, which is to attune you to his medical lab so that when he injects you, it doesn't damage you. So you're going to want to do that. Because, like I said, a lot of the buffs and debuffs that he does are based off of injection. And he'll need to be shooting you guys up with stuff. So he's got his equipment there. And he also bought some random equipment as well. So.
Did you mention his tail?
And he has a prehensile tail, because we discussed that earlier. Inside of his tail, because it's I kind of envision it somewhat like Doc Ock's arms. It's got a needler, little syringe built into it so that he can inject with his tail.
Does it have a mind of its own, like Doc Ock's tentacles?
No, he's an entire android, so it's not. He can't be taken over by AI. He is AI. So.
And I just looked it up. I was thinking maybe I could throw my lunar weapon.
You're not allowed to.
Does not work.
No such luck.
That's one of my biggest things with the Solarian. Because I think having like an energy bow, like on the D&D cartoon.
Cool. There are bows in the universe, so maybe you'd have to look at that. Although I think you have to. I don't think you're proficient in special weapons. I think you'd have to take a feat for that. But.
You feet are gross.
FEAT
weapons.
Are you?
I think you're only proficient in advanced melee weapons, Brendan.
Basic and also small arm.
Here's what I wanted to tell you, because this is a reference to one of our other podcasts. In the advanced melee weapons, they have a weapon called a star knife, which you can guess is the Krull glaive.
Oh, how was I supposed to guess that?
Because it's a star knife.
Oh, I was thinking stars like stars.
Yes, but then you can throw it and stuff and that sort of thing. And then if you buy something they call a fusion to attach to it, it'll return to you.
Okay, that's
like
pretty
the
cool.
glaive.
I'll get
So-
to work on it.
Like Tron.
I'll get
Yeah,
to
so
work
we
on
may
it.
have to get you hooked up with that.
Like Tron.
Tron.
God, those discs are so cool.
There's a weapon called a singing disc, which that's what that is. It's a disc that you throw and it whistles as you throw it.
Okay.
See, don't you wish you got anything more than your dumb energy sword now?
I bought binoculars. Okay.
Don't worry, if we get this, we'll take the 5,000 that we're each going to get. And I'll make you one.
Total. Okay, so we went through all that. You guys went on your awesome shopping
Well,
spree.
are you going to tell us what your character got?
We haven't met my character yet.
Oh, okay. He's
Okay.
right there.
We did the whole intro, though.
Yeah. Okay. So the next morning, at whatever morning time happens on a spaceship, not a spaceship, it is a space station. You're on Absalom Station. Forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
That's the like central space station of the universe. It's where like Glorion used to be.
Oh, so is Garflax's place like just a little shop on the station?
It's a big deal.
Garflax?
Garflax is a big
He's
deal.
a big deal.
He's
He's
got
a big
many,
deal.
many
Rotund.
leather bound. Oh.
He's a big deal. Okay, you guys go down to the Star Dock, Dock 8, where you guys were told to go in the morning. And then you get there, and you see this absolute clunker. Okay, this ship is slow, it's bulky, it's a hauler. It's like this horrible, like, mossy, like, vomit green. It is like a rectangle, like not aerodynamic at all, which is fine because it's space, just don't go in the atmosphere. And then on the back of it, you have this ginormous, like, crane arm that will go out, and if you need it, you can, like, run the controls to grab things because it's a hauler, and that's your job. You're just retrieval engineers. Wink. And then it contracts back into space along the side of the hull. It's equipped with some mining lasers, and then like normal base weaponry, which I won't get into now. It's got an extremely large cargo hold and extremely small crew quarters.
Perfect. Just the way I like it. Maximize that 5%.
Whatever 9.5 foot tall boy.
Okay, so as you guys get in there, you start walking around the ship, and then the cargo bay goes down just like that, and then out walks a about 6 foot tall Vulcan gentleman in a like striking black fur, which you guys would know is extremely rare and strange for Vlaka. Normally they're like white and gray because of the environment of their planet. He's got gold eyes, and he's got like streaks of like small streaks of white through his hair, and he's like wearing a flight suit, and on his hip he has a pistol, and then like strung over his chest in classic sci-fi-ness he has some grenades.
See, we got enough ranged weapons. we're stocked up.
There will still come a turn where you're standing there.
Well, look, that's what most of my turns are anyways.
And then he walks out and he goes, all right. You guys must be the new crew. My name is Finn Arkfell. This here next to me is my backup pilot, Riso, because of my
Classic.
my character. And next time you see a young female, like young as in like 25, female tiefling, a red skin, dark horns, gold eyes, just happen to be gold eyes. Like they're not related at all.
Sure.
They're completely different races.
There's nothing going on here.
And then walking alongside her is a drone. She's a mechanic.
It's walking?
Yeah, it's a walking drone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It kind of walks up alongside her and kind of looks at you and goes, Then Fen goes, "We're gonna be your accessory crew. Garflax probably already told you that at any given time, one of us needs to be on the ship to make a hasty getaway. More often than not, that's gonna be Riso. She's gonna be there to do repairs on the ships as needed, and she's gonna be able to fly us out if something happens, and I'm stuck in the cargo hold with y'all. Then every time that you guys depart, for the most part, I'll be out there with you, right in the front lines, not lifting anything, not contributing in any way, just making sure that y'all don't get your heads blown off like the other ones."
Like the
Okay.
Who?
Okay. I'm assuming you guys got everything you need and we're ready to depart for the Remos Pioneer.
Yep.
I would appreciate it if you wouldn't copy my accent.
All right.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Cam would definitely be interested. He'd be climbing up and peering at the little drone. You know, being a tinker roboticist kind of guy, he's all over that.
As he does it, the drone goes and like kind of like taunts him a little bit and backs off and lets him like do his thing just
Now,
to mess with him.
This drone, how many legs does it have? Or is it on wheels?
Not wheels. It's got 4 legs.
Okay. Does it look like Spot, like the Boston Dynamics robot, or?
It's more of like a feline.
Okay.
Feline shape.
This is the future.
It's a valid question. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys get on the ship and you go along to your crew quarters and you get everything unloaded in your very small chest that you have. The stuff that you have barely fits in there. You each have your own rooms. They're extremely small.
The room is just filled with me. All of my stuff is outside in the hall.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I will have one of you.
So it's just a 2 crew. Do you need us to fill in, or I can do science stuff? I'm a science guy. I can do the science stuff. And then the big Minotaurs. I build stuff.
Okay, that sounds excellent. So I'm going to be the primary pilot. Riso was going to be our mechanic engineer, but if you're wanting to do that, you can do that. She's more than happy to hop on the gunners as needed, or she can fill in with the mechanics or anything like that. Anything that's non-mystical. So I'm assuming you are going to be the captain because you didn't volunteer for anything else.
Yeah, whatever. Just put me wherever you like. This ship's too small anyways. If it takes too long, I'll just float outside.
Well, you'll be happy to know that the captain's chair does adjust down to the floor.
Perfect. But then my knees will be by my head.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna care? Okay. Nobody cares about tall people.
Maybe you can get a new ship with your 5,000 credits split between
Each.
you. Okay. Okay, so we're going to depart. I'll have one of you roll 5d6.
Dibs. I will say, I've been hot on my rolls today. Earlier, when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, I had 4 critical hits.
Well, there you go.
So,
You probably used them all up, is what you're saying.
yeah. So don't well,
There we go. That's
not
good
off to a
start.
great start.
Actually, that's probably good.
Oh,
I think we're talking about how long it's taken to fly, right?
Yes.
So where are we at here? 2, 4, 9. Holy crap. 15.
perfect.
15.
That's practically a hit on all accounts.
Okay, so just the way that like drift space travel, especially like to the vast, happens in Starfinder is you roll, in this case, 5d6, and then you divide it by the number of the drift engines. You guys have 2. So you will be traveling for 7.5 days.
Okay, it could be worse.
Does it round down?
And it does not round down
Okay.
because those half days are very important.
Wait, so if I had rolled a higher, then we'd be down there for more days?
Exactly.
Yes, we'd be
Okay,
flying
well
longer.
then,
So we
look.
wanted you to roll bad.
Yeah, only one of those is a critical fail then.
I saw that.
The other ones are great.
Now, before we get in and take off, though, I guess we should have asked, are we stocked with food for that long?
Oh yeah, that's all taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. The company cares about you.
I
Or
really
the company
feel it.
cares about the ship coming back.
Well, and the food on the ship can be reused for the next
Suckers?
sectors. Yes, I mean crew. Okay, so you guys get on the ship. You get all strapped in, or you sit in the crew quarters, or Chem looks around.
Yeah, Cam would be up in the bridge, scanning, enjoying, doing all that Star Trek stuff, looking at things. Toro would be just wandering around, engineering a little bit. One of the things that he likes to do is he'll put little handholds around, because Cam, even though he is not a Mark Y, he doesn't have an actual climbing movement speed, an official one like the actual race does. He likes to pretend that he does, so Toro is putting handhelds or monkey bars all over the place so that he can pretend like he's a monkey.
That's so sad. That's really depressing.
Okay, so you have 7.5 days of travel. What do each of you want to do, if anything, substantial in that time? Do you want to work on anything? Do you want to...
Well, we haven't got paid yet, so I can't really craft anything during that time. I mean, that'd be the kind of downtime that we do that kind of stuff. There is downtime activities, right, that you can do?
Yes.
Play Hearthstone?
There actually, did you see in the equipment, you can actually buy a vid game?
No, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I missed out on so much. Guns, vid games.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't read things. What? Who said that?
All right, downtime rules. I can analyze a sample. We don't really have a sample anything. We can build a shelter. That's not very useful. We can carouse, but I don't like any of you.
What the heck does that mean? Carouse?
I think that's you can go gambling.
Oh.
If we're in a settlement for downtime, we can go gambling. Yeah, celestial analysis. We spend the day as a starship science officer analyzing pinpointed gravity wells. Now, we know where we're going, or do we need to find it when we get there?
You know where you're going. There are coordinates.
All
You're
right.
So you're going to go directly
Perfect.
there to the last known location of the Remos Pioneer.
I don't think we've got a lot we can do right now. I can cook you a feast.
Oh. How many courses?
That's right. Use
but
those
wait
rations.
a minute, I'm not a professional
You
cook.
waste them all on the first day. I guess can I like talk to some of the crew? I'm the captain, you know. What does Kirk do? He's just gonna wander around the ship.
Flirting with random aliens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Do we have any? No, I'm gonna go talk to. Who do we have? Riso, Fen. Who's the third one? Is there a third one?
There's just those two.
And the
well,
drone.
And the drone.
The drone.
I'm gonna go talk to the drone. See what he's got going on. No, I'm gonna talk to Riso, if that's okay.
Yeah. So as you walk in, she's just like in her own room tinkering with something because she's a mechanic.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna go on. Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to her and be like, well, how do I introduce myself without sounding flirty? Because I don't want to. I just want to get to know the crew better.
This
Be
is your
like,
captain speaking.
yeah, with the perfect airline voice. No, I'll walk up to her and be like, hey, how did you end up on this here lovely little hauler? Milady.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
My parents died when I was young, and I didn't really have any.
That got dark so fast.
Everybody I've ever known and loved is dead.
I don't know. It just
little out of nowhere.
Okay.
The person you choose He's not gonna ease into it.
That's her character trait.
Hey, that works.
That's a character trait. She doesn't.
Well, she's on the
doesn't play
spectrum
for
a little bit. My fears. Next.
Next.
I'm talking to someone else. We can come back to that.
Okay, you have a really wonderful, heartfelt conversation with Riso, the very straightforward tiefling mechanic.
Yeah, we're in there, and she goes, "My whole family's dead." I'm like, "Cool, I gotta go. I think somebody's calling me."
I'm not ready for this
I gotta go.
conversation.
I gotta go captain this ship.
Gotta go do captaining stuff.
Oh man.
As you were, after you have this conversation and you start walking through the ship, you make your way up to the flight deck where the captain's ship, all of the stations are, and Fen is just sitting there, asleep in his chair, with a drunk whiskey glass up on the dash, but he's asleep in his chair. And you're up in the flight deck, and you can see through the viewports. You see the look of drift space, which is all the stars moving past you with like auroral lights and like wispiness like in between them, because it's a different plane of existence. It's not just hyperspace. It's different.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then as you look off to the port side, the left side, you see through some like the wispy auroral like mist, you see these giant tentacles like floating just like aimlessly like through the sky, just very, very slowly, because they're so gargantuan that they have to move slow like that. And there's like a purple light kind of like emanating from them a little bit, and you're watching them for a little bit, and then they just kind of disappear.
Nice. And I look around like, did anybody else just see that?
And Fen is asleep right now. So.
Oh, okay. Is there any other like, I don't know, like a viewing port to see space, or is this the only like window, I guess, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, there's probably going to be a few throughout the ship.
Can I do an actual game thing and do a life science check to see if I know what they are?
Just Brennan saw that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get out of here.
I thought I was up there.
You can ask Chem or Toro about it. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find life science. Oh, okay. I have no bonus.
Do you have any bonuses?
Did you
I
put
do.
bonuses on your...
I definitely did.
Did you create your character?
I swear I did everything I could. Because my diplomacy is +7.
Well, see, that'll be great when
But-
you're a captain.
But look, I was looking at this, and look, on this guy, your skill rank per level is 8. Mine is only 4.
That's high intelligence.
Yeah, so it's not, I'm not, maybe I'm doing things
No,
wrong.
you're doing just fine. I mean, diplomacy is going to be a good thing in your charisma-based class, so...
Well, I got a 2 on that life science roll.
Okay, so now you think they're ghosts.
Yeah, pretty tentacles.
Normal space stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna walk up to the monkey boy and be like, "Hey, I just saw some tentacles in space."
Ooh, I got to look into that. Is that enough information for me to do some kind of a Google or life science
I don't know
check?
if I have it.
You can't access the infosphere right
Okay.
now, but you would know that just from like being like a sciencey person, you know that the drift space is highly random like this, and weird things like that are completely normal
Okay.
to see out the window.
Because it's another plane.
Yeah, it's
Of
a complete
existence.
another plane of existence. Yep.
Okay.
And none of them get close enough that we need to worry about it right now?
Not these ones, no.
All right, that works for me.
Interesting.
And so later that
It's
That
like,
night?
it's like when you always see it on the movies when they got the ship and the dolphins are jumping around beside them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it is.
I'm hip to that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Later that night, as you go to sleep, you have this. You keep having these like visions of those tentacles, and they're reaching towards you, and they're reaching. They get closer and closer, and then as they reach out and they touch you and they touch your mind, you feel like that same presence that like awoke the ability of like the celestial power in your soul, and it flashes and they all back off. But in that moment when they flash, you get the very brief vision of something floating through space, just regular space, not drift space.
Okay. Can I? Okay, so that was a dream. So
That was a dream, yeah.
That's the end of the dream, and I wake up in like a cold sweat.
Yes.
Okay, I bang my head on the ceiling of
Yeah.
my cabin because I'm 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
I didn't think that one through, did I? Can I like meditate on this dream to try and ascertain some deeper truth or some other information that I could have grasped?
You could, but you're already there. You you exit drift space.
Oh. I slept for 7 days straight.
No, that was the day. That was the last
It
day.
happened
Okay.
on day 7, hour 2.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. So as you wake up, you feel like the drift engines start to power down, and you exit drift space into the vast. And you guys all go up into the hull, or into the flight deck where the viewports are, and then out of the viewport, you can see two things. You can see a dark planet with like purple, wispy auroral light surrounding from it and emanating from it. And then just off to the side, slowly like orbiting around it in its orbit, outer orbit, you see the remnants, or the shattered, partially destroyed remains of the Remos Pioneer. Some parts of it are intact, but mostly it's ravaged and torn apart.
Did we know about this planet? Did we know that we are going to a place where there was a mapped planet, or is this some new thing?
No, you checked beforehand, and there are no records of any planets that
That's
have
no
been
planets.
explored near these coordinates.
Have been explored.
Have been
Okay.
explored.
Okay.
Yeah. So there might be. I mean, there might have always been a planet here. It just hasn't been explored previously. There's no like records in the Jedi archives.
Or it's the Death Star.
That's no moon.
It's a space station. What does they call it in Force Awakens? Starkiller Base.
Yeah, it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this opportunity to tell everybody that I have a bad feeling about this mission. For no reason in particular. But I had a vision last night. And I guess I don't necessarily know how to explain this to people who aren't on my sort of cosmological understanding with the universe.
Riso rolls
To
her
the
eyes.
plebes, the plebeians. But I had this
an
moment
android.
of awakening. Well, yeah, then you don't have a soul. You definitely don't get it. I had this moment of awakening, which makes me think there's something deeper going on with this space station. Or ship. We were on the space station before.
Yeah, have you been on this ship before?
Not that I know of.
Well, then maybe there isn't a connection. I'm just saying, this is just a simple job of just get in, get the stuff, and get out. I'm not messing around with no hero stuff.
While we're doing that, I'm going to be doing scans.
Okay.
I assume the ship is equipped with scanners, things of that nature. I mean, I'm going
Yes.
for my Star Trek knowledge, but
Yes. Roll a computers check for the scanning, and then both of you roll a perception check to see if you can get a better look at it now that you guys are slowly drifting towards it.
All right, computers is only a 17.
Okay.
Chem's perception is a 15, and Toro
Visual
is
perception.
a 7.
I have a 17.
Nailed it.
17.
Okay. So as you guys are slowly drifting closer to it in space, you see, now that you get closer, and like the sun in the system is kind of like rotated a little bit, you see the cargo bay, which is at the aft side of the ship, the back side of the ship, is blown open with the debris just like floating stagnant in the zero gravity around it. And then along the side of it, the hull looks as if it's been crushed in some spots. But however, the forward half of the ship looks mainly undamaged and untouched.
Do the crushing, does it look like giant tentacles did it?
Roll a physical science check.
Oh.
That is I believe a 21, right? Yeah, 21.
Okay, so you've never seen anything being crushed by giant tentacles, let alone a ship this big, but you know that like localized depressurization of different parts of the ship can cause this. And you've seen it like cause similar crushings in part of the hull of a ship.
Okay.
As in somebody popped a hatch open?
Yeah, as in like these localized parts, they weren't able to keep the pressure correctly for whatever reason, and just goes, you know, like a can.
What a visual.
Yeah.
Is there any way to tell, like, or I guess, is there any way to know if it's just based off of like previous instances and past knowledge, if it's more likely that this would be something caused by like an accident or like an act of sabotage?
You don't know enough right now.
Okay.
If you get on the ship, you could probably find more information. But
What about the big old hole in the back?
starship
Does-
travel is a very dangerous thing, especially when drift space gets involved. So.
Okay.
And so your scans, what you rolled like pretty high. It was like a 17 or something, right? For your computer's check.
Yes.
Okay. So from the scans, as you get closer to it, you can tell that like I said, the forward half of the ship is mainly intact. Those power lines that are running along the outside of it, and you can kind of get an emanation from the inside too, they are still intact, and there is a faint amount of electricity flowing between it.
So we've got a little bit of power. Are there any life signs?
On the first half of the ship, the front half of the ship, there is potential for power. There is a little bit of energy flow.
Can I tell from the scans whether like life support is still working in that area or anything like that?
No, yeah, something is like interfering with it. You can't get a really good scan, like a deep scan of like
The
life
plot
systems or
armor is
anything.
interfering.
Should we try to like raise a hailing signal?
Yes,
You're the captain.
You're the captain.
I would like to try and reach the other ship.
Okay. It's pretty easy to like start a communication thing, so we're not going to make you roll for that. But what do you want to say?
What's the name of our ship called?
You guys didn't name it.
What should we name our ship? Quick. I'm gonna click on the.
Garflax doesn't name his ships.
I'm gonna click on the line and then be like, "Hello, this is," and then, "Oh, guys, what's this ship called?" This is Captain
Rust Bucket.
Captain
That's what
Turn
Fen says.
of the HMS Rust Bucket.
Her Majesty's service?
It's Her Majesty's ship.
Oh, okay.
Who's Her Majesty?
The Queen.
Okay,
I don't know.
the Queen of some place.
Well, I didn't want to do USS. That's so basic. HMS. I don't know.
There are queens, and you just chose some random society.
Yeah, well, they don't know. They're probably dead anyways. I'm going to say this is Captain Turin of the HMS Rust Bucket. Can you give us a status report as to your life support systems, and just a general sit rep as to what's going on with the big old hole. Out.
You guys wait for a couple minutes, and there's no response.
Is there any way that I can like remote into it with the computers and download a log or something like that, ship's log? That's an actual question. You don't have anything.
I'll say no, and if it is possible, then that system is down.
Okay. Plot armor.
Dang
Yeah.
it. Okay, so where are we floating at in relation to this ship?
You're floating like slowly towards it because you guys purposely did that. It isn't
Sure.
like a weird polling thing. You guys are just didn't stop because that's how space works.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably about a couple hundred miles away.
Does it feel like it's falling into the planet, gravity or anything like that, or are we pretty safe?
No, this entire time that you've been watching it, it's been like pretty stable in its orbit. It has a stable orbit around this planet.
Okay, so the orbit's stable. Allegedly, there's nobody. Life support. There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reckon. I kind of feel like we should go explore, the aft section of the ship. I feel like that would give us some clues as to what happened before we actually talk to anybody, if anybody's there.
The section with the big hole?
Yeah.
Well, we can get in at least. While we're doing that, can Riso be using the handy dandy arm to start grabbing equipment?
Yes. Risa will start grabbing the debris that is blown out of the ship.
Do some salvaging,
Yes.
because that's what we're here for.
Get some UPBs.
She will roll a dexterity thing. Okay, so as you guys are just slowly going in, she gets roughly $120 UPBs found.
Yes.
120 total.
Yes, 120 UPBs.
All right, there wasn't a lot there. How do we feel? I mean, if as we're over there, can she be continuing to do that while she's also maintaining the ship distance and stuff like that? I'm assuming that our plan here is that we are going to just kind of propel ourselves over, or is there some sort of a docking mechanism on the ship to get us in close to the other ship?
You guys can like fly around it, but like the docking things will like be on the side, and that's like part of the stuff that's like crushed. So
Okay.
So we're just doing like a spacewalk to get over to it.
that's what you guys want to do.
Well, no,
Do we
I'm
have
asking,
space
do we
suits?
have
Yeah,
options other
you do
than
have
that?
spacesuits. Yeah.
Well, you have your environmental.
I'm
suit.
good.
Yeah, so
I got wings, dog.
so most of the light armors or most of the armors have environmental stuff on them.
I can breathe in space,
Yeah.
so
You can breathe in space.
yeah.
Cool.
That
So
otherwise,
because I'm an Android, I don't need it.
nice. Let's go. Yeah. Who needs
Space
air?
buddies. So I mean that was my question. It wasn't necessarily are we doing that. Is that really our only option by looking at it?
Yeah.
Just a spacewalk over.
You can also like fly the ship in, and then like land it in the cargo
Okay,
bay.
so the ship is small enough that it'll go inside.
Oh yeah, this is like a giant. The Remos Pioneer is ginormous.
I feel like we should leave the ship floating for a fast getaway.
How difficult do we think it is just to shove off our ship and float over to it?
Not difficult, because like you guys can like maneuver to the point where like you basically not fail at it.
Slingshot
and
us?
then just have her like float away a little bit. You want to do that?
Yes.
I think that's where we're at. I think we got to go over there.
Okay. So Fen dons his well, he's wearing second skin, so he does the same thing as yours does, where it just turns into a Enviro suit. He
Can't breathe outside.
Stupid wolf.
And then he takes you guys down to the cargo bay, and then Riso pulls the ship in, not completely in, but just like still floating outside to the point where like if you guys jump out the cargo bay, you cannot fail. And then the cargo bay goes, which you don't hear because there's zero atmosphere in space.
Yeah, they can't hear you scream out there.
And then you link up your comm units so you all can talk to each other through your spacesuits, and then you push off into the cargo space.
Before we go over, Toro's going to do his 1 free daily cast of a junk spell into the junk armor.
Okay.
I would also like to mention to Riso, every once in a while, make sure you check the scanners. Obviously, the salvage is important because that's why we're here, but make sure the scanners, I don't want to get jumped, by some pirates or somebody's up to no good.
Got it. I'm deploying also the suspensor raft, so you guys can load up any extra stuff that you salvage along the way and just carry it along with you, and you don't have to worry about actually carrying it, and then just float alongside you.
Nice. Space wagon.
Space wagon.
Oh, that's what we should have called the ship. The space wagon.
Well, I don't think we wrote it down. We can call it whatever we want.
Well, okay. If there's somebody alive on the ship who heard Rust Bucket, then we're sticking with it. But if
Okay.
nobody heard, then we'll just do a slight,
we'll just keep on
a
rolling.
silent rebrand.
Okay. So you guys are in the cargo bay now. Both of you roll a perception check. And this is just to see what you see in the cargo bay.
All right. I'm just since I'm rolling for both of them from now on, I'll use the white one for Toro and the gray one for.
Got it.
Turin rolled a 19.
Let's see. I got a 25 on Chem and a 21 for Toro.
Okay.
Just wasted a couple good rolls.
So you guys are looking around. You have the lights on your suits and mounted on.
Toro has a flashlight. I bought one.
As you guys are looking around, you see a lot of really useful things. You see a bunch of like mining robots, just general like robots that aren't sentient like AI are.
Thank God.
They're activated or they're just sitting there?
Oh, they're just sitting there.
Okay.
They're like long dormant. You're able to like salvage from them like circuit boards, servos, motors, like the mining lasers, a bunch of useful stuff from it. You will find 2 large spools of adamantine cable. So
Time
like
to make Wolverine.
so like each of these spools is like 100 feet of adamantine cable.
So do you have a list or how do you want us to do this? You want us to keep track of this?
You guys keep track of it
Okay.
too, in case there's like any useful things you want, and then I'll keep track of like the UPBs that you guys get.
Okay.
And then 2 grapplers, which you can attach to the cables to like to grapple onto things and like secure yourself, stuff like
You
that.
can also use that to grapple people.
Oh. Nice.
Like Batman.
Yes. Good old Batclaw.
And you guys also rolled really good. So in addition to that, you find a pack of 2 Aeon stones. They're clear spindle Aeon stones. So what that means is that you can like have it like float around you, just like your moat, Brennan.
Nice.
And it, as long as you're like using it, you don't need to like eat or drink water.
Perfect. Wait, so what is it? How does that work?
It's magic.
Magic.
It just magically
It's
puts
magic.
food in my tummy?
It's scientific magic.
You have a star sword.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. It's a moon sword.
And you
first of all.
find two spell ampules of one is stabilize and one is remove lesser condition. And so spell ampules, Brennan, are like you like injecting magic into you, basically. They're spells.
What were they? Stabilize and what was the other one?
Stabilize
Remove
and
lesser
remove.
condition.
We both can't like write it down.
Well, too bad we both are.
Well, then you both have to like cross it
Well,
off.
now
when you
we've got
use it.
audit. We can audit each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not going to keep track of everything.
It always starts out nice and then we forget. And I can't read my writing anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yours? Dude, look at this.
I should be typing.
That would be smart.
Okay, so in addition to that, you also find about 250 like UPBs worth of like random stuff that isn't useful that you probably don't want to keep. I'll keep track of those. You don't have to write those down.
Too late.
Okay. You're gonna audit me.
Yeah, I need a receipt for this shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
itemized so we
Sorry,
know
are
what
we doing-
Garflex's
And,
cut is.
In addition, you also off into the corner, and this is like a ginormous like cargo bay. Like off into one in the corner, you see a computer console.
All right, I'm on it. I want to go in there and start digging around, see if I can find ship logs, any kind of reference that would, be a timeline that I can follow. We'll
Look
start
for
with that.
a manifest too.
Yeah,
Cargo and like people.
I'm on it.
Computers check.
Computer.
20.
God. Okay.
What?
Jeez, you're.
I got a plus 12 to computers.
That's insane.
I know it is.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Everything about him is computers.
So you log into that thing like there wasn't even a username password.
He just hits enter.
Yeah. You do like R2D2. You just like hook into it.
Scomp in.
My tail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Ooh, nice. Then you connect into it. You find that in the logs you find that the coordinates where you are now were not the intended final destination of where you guys were going, and you find a map for the rest of the ship, so you can easily traverse throughout it.
So they did have a destination they were heading towards. They had a planet in mind they were going towards?
Mm-hmm. This isn't it.
Do we know what the planet is? Just for fun.
Yeah, is it one
That-
of those things, or is it
That part of the data is corrupted.
plot armor? We know that it was there. We just don't know what it is.
This isn't it.
We know it doesn't matter to the story.
So, so they had somewhere in mind. We know at some point they got knocked off course. Does it say when that would have happened, or / where?
Yeah, because we know they've been missing for 10 years.
Yeah.
What part of the flight?
Pretty early on, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And so as for the map, you see that there's the cargo bay, which you're in now. There is a security office close by. There's a flight deck, which is on the forward half of the ship, as most flight decks are. There is the sustainability lab. There's a cryo chamber. There is a medical bay and a science bay. And then an engineering lab.
Is this Khan's ship?
God, nudies.
Khan! I think we... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think. Well, I guess you probably want to go to the science. The
Eventually,
science
but
deck.
actually I was going to say security office
That's.
first.
I was thinking security or
'Cause
flight
that was the
deck.
closest.
That's
right?
the closest,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah. so-
I think, we just keep on moving in the direction of that things are, start room to room and see what we can find. Now, so from you mentioned that it was shortly after they took off that the log stops. From that, can I gather that it was a drift from there that brought them here, like they've been drifting for 10 years, or I can't gather that at all?
Something you don't know about, like what happened in between. You do know that something happened in drift space.
Okay.
You don't know. I mean, they might have been here, because that's the thing about the Vast is that's lastly unexplored. There's a real possibility that they've just been sitting here for the last 10 years.
Okay.
I
But-
see.
You'll have to find more information.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
What
So
do you guys
security
do?
offices then. Move as a unit.
Okay. You get to the far side of the cargo bay where the door is to enter into the rest of the ship. It has an airlock, so you guys are able to go through, and then close it off behind you. And then when the door opens on the other side, you notice that it's pressurized. It's like normal environment. It's not 0G anymore.
I have, just so you know, in case it comes up, is I have a blind sense sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're in a pressurized environment, then there'll probably be sound again. So we're not in dead space, right?
Yeah.
So. Do we see? Oh, so what's the security office? I mean, is it?
It's like a couple hallways down.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to head to the security office?
Yes.
Make a perception check as you walk through the hallway.
I thought your eyes were fine.
Well, okay, you tell me. That's a 6, right?
I don't know. Is that?
I'm the
is that a
GM. Let me
19?
see it. Oh, geez.
Is that a 19?
I think that's a 13.
I want it to be a 19. Okay.
That's a 6. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Turin rolled a 10 then.
Toro's got a 17. Cam is only a lot less. Well, no, not a lot less. 12.
12, 17, and what was yours, Brendan? Oh, I guess
10.
I should roll for Fen because he's along with you guys.
He's a crew member.
Natural 20.
Of course.
Okay. As you
Stupid
guys are
wolf.
It's
as,
them gold eyes.
as you guys are walking down, you were paying attention. As you guys are walking down the hall, the lights turn on. They're all motion sensed. We're in normal atmosphere now. You guys can hear your footsteps. Other than that, it's completely silent. Fen takes his helmet off, so he's out and he can just like talk with you guys because you guys don't need.
Takes his helmet off. He goes,
He can breathe.
all right.
All
Security
right.
office.
He puts on his cowboy hat. No, he doesn't have a cowboy hat.
I'll craft him one.
Seems like a valid way to use EPVs.
And then you guys get to the hallway where the security office is. And then, yeah, the door directly ahead of you is the security office.
So we're sitting outside of it?
Yeah, you guys are outside of it.
Okay.
And the door's closed. And there's a lock on it.
Like a...
Like a
What kind of
keypad.
lock?
Boop, boop, boop,
Okay.
Keypad.
Toro will knock.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Nothing happens, but the sound of a metal android minotaur knocking on the adamantine, the plastine door, just like boom, 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 just echoes like throughout the ship.
Well,
As much as it is like
that was probably loud.
regular pressurized. That's what the door knock sounded like.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Sound
you meant to do
effects.
that, huh, Jeff? Well, I guess if there's anybody on the ship, now they definitely know we're here.
Well, you guys also did hail them.
Yeah.
Well, if
We've
they
been
were
telling
on the
everybody
flight
we were
deck.
coming.
If they were there, they could have been in the medical bay and not heard it. You don't know. They definitely heard your stupid knocking. Do you think you could hack the pin pad?
Pin the keypad.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Toro's gonna stand in front of the door,
Oh, Lord.
and then from the side, then Cam will be trying to fiddle with the keypad to get it open.
Hold on there, little monkey. little monkey bot. That there is a shock lock. You
I
guys
think-
didn't see it because your perception was so low, but thankfully I'm here with my golden eyes.
Their golden eyes.
Thankfully I'm here with my golden eyes, and I saw that shock lock.
Still can't breathe outside.
You would you would have fried yourself. Okay.
I think you should still do it.
And
Well, we got to try eventually.
So one of you guys needs to disable that, or else it's gonna shoot you through a whole bunch of electricity.
Is that a
Go and get 30,000
is that a
volts
computers
right
or
out
an
of that brain.
engineering?
Engineering.
Engineering. All right. Toro says, got it.
He's just going to punch it.
He's gonna do his bowl in a china shop engineering. What are we at here? 1827.
27. Okay. So normally, you would like pry the thing off, and you'd like find the wire that's like short circuiting and like clip it, but you just you just like 1 inch punch it so quickly that it doesn't even shock you.
The Bruce
So-
Lee of giant
I'm a magic
minotaurs.
ball.
And so as you do that, the Star Trek doors go, and it comes up, And then in the already lit security office, you see some computer stations, you see some desks, you see some cabinets. But apart from that, you see in the middle of the room a large, like feline shape with the face, instead of like the maw of a normal panther or like a tiger type thing. You see tentacles protruding from it, like writhing in the air, and it locks eyes with you, and it like.
I'm gonna punch the lock again.
And then behind it, you see two humanoids that are gray-skinned in flight suits with weapons, guns, and knives, and they say "Guitar."
Nah.
Yeah,
Sure.
put your stuff on top of this thing.
I assume this is the door.
Yep, that's the door over there.
Oh god. There's no lot better for that.
These are the gray-skinned humanoids back here.
Yeah, they're pretty gray.
Wait, so are we.
Oh no! Who do we know who to kill?
And then right in the middle, you see.
It's a mind flayer.
That's fun.
Is that showing up in
Yeah.
there? Oh yeah. Right about there, and that is a large.
So he is a large. He's got taken up 10 spaces, 10 feet.
Well, at least I'm not the only one.
And then quick, shout out. The bottoms. Is that showing up?
Yeah.
The bottoms of the humanoids. New Wave Nerds logo.
Beautiful.
Ooh, we have branded them.
It's official.
The bad guys are
Dang.
branded.
Yeah, that came out really good.
Is that how you guys want to be right there?
Well, I did mention that Toro would be standing in front of the door. Now, the door looks like a 10-foot door, so he's not blocking the whole thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone, we're just gonna, I guess, skip the surprise because you announced yourself fully.
And with a little knock.
Yeah, knock, and then you just busted the door open. So everyone, just roll initiative.
Okay, so...
Ooh, natural 20.
Nice. Cam's a 16. Toro's an 11. Right? That's a 10? Or a 20?
That's a 10.
That's a 10. That dice has got weird fonts.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool.
You just didn't have bad
if
eyes.
if I had a reader's.
What else we got in this bad boy?
Where's the initiative?
It's top, middle. On the,
Oh, I found
on
it.
the sheet.
Yeah, I found it on mine. Okay.
Okay.
So, Ken, you had a 16. Toro, you had 11.
Yeah.
Ben had a 9. What did you have? Turin?
23.
23.
Switching my dice. Using the
The,
picked a better
the
one?
humanoids
I picked the blue one.
only got a
I
6.
have a blue marker, so.
That'll work.
And the tentacle panther got a 16.
Tentacle Panther.
That is what I'm...
Dope name for a metal band, though.
Very Cthulhu-ish.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I knocked you over.
That'll probably happen.
Okay. So,
God, why are
first...
this guy's nipples so big? Sorry.
First up is Big Nipples. Turin.
See,
I'm not lying, guys. I don't think you guys can see it on the stream very well.
You told me the mini to fret.
Nice nipples.
Well, I don't have any,
Range.
ranged.
I was gonna say, what did you do back there?
I don't know. Can I move in?
Yeah, you can move through.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna move.
Keep in mind you're big also.
I'm giant. Let's see. What are we thinking here? I'm just gonna. Actually, I don't have that much.
5, 10, 15.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't think this through.
So we're about 4. So you got reach too, right?
Yes.
You go 5, 10.
What
15,
area is that
20,
at?
25, 30. What's your move? 30.
Yes.
I don't think you're close enough to hit him. Or just your move.
Okay. I'm just gonna run up. Wait. So how do I count this if I'm massive again? Sorry.
So it's still 5 feet. So
Oh.
like this is the front of yours.
I
so
see.
5, 10, 15, like that, basically.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15. 20.
Also, there is such thing as like a charge too.
Full action. It's a full action. You move your movement, so it's still hit, but he's not close enough to hit.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought it was more like a run. Okay, never mind then.
You can do a double move, but then that
Yeah, then
Then
I
you
don't have an
can't do the charge.
action.
full action
Okay.
doesn't do anything.
I'm just gonna walk in, and I think I'm gonna go.
Keep in mind that when you move into a threatened spot, that also triggers an opportunity attack. It's not just leaving it like in D&D 5.
I see. I'm
If
just gonna
he's got
go.
reach. If the creature has reach and you move within 5, then yes.
Oh, it's only if it's as reach. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do diagonals work the same
Yeah.
in this game?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, so.
Well, wait, how many diagonal did you do?
Oh, I remember the diagonal
it's
rules now.
5
Yeah,
it's
no, I
5,
definitely
10,
can't make that.
5,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just gonna move here then. I'm just gonna hide behind this for now.
That's okay. That provides some cover.
Yeah, and then I'll try and get closer next time and smack him. Or I
Okay.
guess he could move too.
Yeah, he'll probably come running at us, I would assume. And that's partial cover,
Yeah, that's partial cover.
which is what?
Plus 2. Yes, my handy
Can I-
dandy thing.
Crouch down. I mean, I'm 9 feet tall, so my head will still be hanging over.
Okay. Next is Chem.
Okay, Kem is going to use his move action to do a life science of 29 on the tentacle panther and get some information about it.
Okay.
So do the identify creature thing.
Okay. Okay, so roll. Did you roll yet?
I don't have to because remember because he's a biohacker, he can take a 20 if he uses a move action to do it.
Got it. So what would your 20 be?
29.
29. And that's using your life science.
Yeah,
Okay.
life science if it's living, physical science if it's not.
And then there's also mysticism, but that doesn't apply.
No, and for the biohacker, it's either that's the benefit. It's either life
Oh,
science
okay.
or physical science.
Okay, so you are able to you aren't able to identify it. This isn't anything that you've come across. The closest thing that you've seen is it looks very similar to an akata. And
An avocado.
an akata. So it's like a panther type thing. They exist. Akatas, which is a separate thing, but it's very similar to it, just based off your first instinct, is that it when it bites you, it infects you with something called void death, and then you have to make saves against it, or it gets really bad.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
And so you know that.
Okay, so that's his special attack, and I think I can know. What
That's not a special attack. That's just every time it bites.
Okay. And then how did I? Hello. So any special resistances? That good?
If you go based off the assumption that it is similar to an akata, then resistances are fire, and it's immune to things like cold, disease, poison, and starvation.
It's immune to poison. Well, that's good because one of my biohacks is a poison effect. So I'm not going to use that.
Well, we can't starve him out either.
Yes.
Why didn't I use my...
And so that was your move action?
That's my move action. So for my standard, I'm just going to biohack on Toro. And let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so he can get to him. So I'm going to give him a +1 to AC, and that'll last for 4 rounds. Toro will have a +1 to AC.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
You want to put that under Toro,
All right.
so we remember that he has the effect. Eventually, we're going to print off small things to fit directly underneath them.
Yeah, once we figure out all the different things we're using.
Yes. Okay, is that everything for Chem?
That's his turn, yep.
Okay, up next is the Panther. So the Panther is going to run up, and it can easily do that because it has a speed of 40, and it is large, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. I'll go up, and it will try to bite Turin. For an 11 against your KAC.
Miss.
Ooh, miss. Ah. Okay, and that is going to be its turn. Next up is Toro.
Toro. Oh, this kind of stinks. I should have planned ahead. Toro is going to. So can I move in right here?
Yeah, we'll say that you're able to like squeeze past that.
All right, so now we're flanking. And I'm just going to use my spear instead of doing a junk sword. Oh, that's crappy. That's a 6.
Is that with your plus?
That is a 2, right?
That's an 8.
That's an 8. So that's a 12. That's a 14 for flanking. So yeah, 14 versus KAC it'd be.
That hits.
Awesome. So max damage, 10 points of
10
damage
points of damage. Jeez.
with the spear, and then the spear has the block property, so that means that I have +1 AC against to him
Okay.
next turn if he turns around and tries to attack me.
Next up is Fen. Just gonna. I guess I'll just stay right there. And
All right.
I'll say,
All right.
get him. Get him. And so, let me put that underneath. Fen is gonna do get him, which as an envoy he can say, point at someone and say get him, and then everyone else for the next turn gets a +1 to attack against that enemy. And then that's a move action, so he can still hit. He's going to
Oh.
in this case,
You said that.
Okay.
he's going to see the situation. Instead of shooting the Panther, he's going to try to lob a smoke grenade 20 feet to conceal the enemies. Okay, that's not as far as that's not as far as I thought. So Fen's gonna try to shoot with his pistol for a 9, which will miss.
Ah, fat lot of good that pistol did you, huh?
Even with get him?
Yeah, even with yeah. So it would be 10, but that still misses against KAC because it's a tactical pistol. Okay, next up are the humanoids back there who, now that you have seen them for roughly 6 seconds, you can see that these are actually Damai with their gray skin. And so they will move up 30 feet. They're going to move that little bit right there. Try to close in next to each other. And then they're going to shoot at Turin and Toro. For a 15 against Turin and against KAC, but you have a +2 bonus because of the cover.
So miss then.
Miss, okay. And then a 12 against KFC. 12 against KAC.
Yo.
Two.
Why are you coming at the colonel like that?
So
Nope,
12.
that's gonna miss
Okay.
with my bonus.
Yo, 12 herbs and spices?
all,
Oh, man. We're really
it's all there.
into the weeds.
Okay. So that's going to be... Actually, the Damai have an ability to once a day re-roll a failed attack if they have an ally within 10 feet.
Of
And
course
that's
they
why
do.
They actually do. Look up the stat
I
block.
believe you.
Look up the stat block. So they are both going to re-roll. That's why they closed in. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that one's better. Okay, so the one is going to, the one that's attacking Toro is going to do 18 to KAC.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. They're going to do from the semi-auto pistol. Ooh, 5 points of damage.
Ooh, that takes me out all my stamina.
Ooh.
So I'm already in health. Okay.
That was fast.
Okay. Okay, top of the round.
Dang, why do I have more health
Turin.
and stamina than you?
Because I'm a technomancer, which isn't really built for melee stuff.
Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the fact that you're a massive bull.
I know.
Well, first of all, I should have done this before, but I'm gonna go into 1 point into photon mode for my stellar. What is it called again?
Attunement.
Yes, attunement.
And
Yeah,
you-
the revelation is
you-
the ability. That's
you
what
did
I was
it.
thinking, but
You do it last time too, so you have 2 now.
Yeah, yep.
nice. Okay, 2 out of 3 then. I'm gonna mark that so I don't forget. And then I'm gonna try and smack this tentacled panther with my lunar weapon.
Now, something you can do is a full attack, which means that you attack twice. And you get a -4 to your roll, but because we're flanking, you get a +2, so it's not as much.
And because of get 'em, you get an extra +1.
And you get an extra +1 from get 'em. So
It's only a -1.
so it's a -1,
But you
and you get to
attack
do
tw-
2 attacks with it.
Yes.
Basically.
Are you
Okay.
doing that?
Yes.
Okay, you need to say it beforehand.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was implied.
And now his weapon is that EAC?
Solar weapon is KAC.
Still KAC.
Still
Okay.
KAC. Yeah, it's a weird stipulation that I thought was weird.
Okay, so
All the years I've played Starfinder.
13, and then I get +4 just base, so 17 minus 1, 16.
Okay, that hits.
Nice. So I need a D4.
It's only a D4.
Yeah.
But it's like +2, right? Because you get 1 for being stellar attuned and 1 for
Yeah.
the crystal shard thing.
Yeah. Yes.
2,
2.
4 then.
4.
It'll scale. Don't worry.
Well, no, I it already says 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah.
So then is it plus
I think the
3
plus
then?
1 is from your crystal.
Yeah.
And then you get a plus 1 while you're attuned.
Yeah.
I see. But
So
the
it's-
crystal hadn't showed up. Or
I put it on there when I printed that out.
oh.
Yeah.
Just trust the process.
You see, it's got the 1d4 corrode
That's
for
what
the crit.
that's earlier when I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, did that work?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put it on
So-
there before I printed it for you. So.
Four.
So
then.
you take this first slash with your luminescent white energy thing, and then you slash through it, and then green blood kind of arcs in like a Dexter blood thing, and it's still up and kicking, but it's looking rough.
Well, that's not bad then. Now roll. Now you're going to do another one, right?
Yeah, because you did a full attack, so you get an
No,
attack.
you got to roll a hit again.
Yeah, and it's -1 because it's minus.
Crit.
Nice.
Ooh.
So that's a double.
So what am I doing now?
So now you roll d4 and then add the 2, and then roll another d4 and add the 2.
Okay, we don't have a second d4.
I think we did, but
I have
that's all right.
I have a D4
3.
here.
So a
But
5.
I want this one back.
No. 5.
Never use the DM's dice. That's only a 1.
1, yeah.
So
That's weird. Why is it on the top?
8 total then. That's why you don't use the DM's dice.
Yeah, really, it's weighted.
8 total you did then
8
on
total.
that.
And then
crit.
what's the crit
Oh,
damage?
and then the corrode is
Another d4.
another d4 of acid damage.
1.
1 point acid damage.
Okay, so you do another slash with your
I just poke him a little bit.
with your thing, and then this time as you slice it down, an arc of like acid comes out with it, and it splashes over the skin, the gray skin of the panther, and more green blood splashes everywhere, and then the streaks of like bioluminescent purple that were rippling over the panther's skin, they fade away, and then it falls to the ground, and the skin is like sizzling from the acid damage. It had 1 point left.
Oh.
Nailed it. Nice crit.
Okay, so the panther is dead.
Cool.
I thought that was the big bad guy.
Well, you all ganged up on him. Okay.
Well, he came to us.
Yeah, his fault.
I was going to pet him.
Honestly, it
is-
kind of is your fault because you just punched right through the door.
Next is Kem.
Okay, so Kim is going to, what's the range? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So he's going to... okay, he's got his needler rifle.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot at each of them.
Full attack.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 2 shots. And I'm going to do the basic inhibit. No, let's see. I already did one.
You're gonna have to just move a little bit,
Yeah.
just because you're kind of obscured right now.
Okay, so I did one booster. I got 4 total. So I'm going to do a -2 to AC biohack to each of them. And he's going to go 5, 15, 20, 25, 30, right?
They alternate 5 and 10s for diagonals.
Yeah,
don't know if
I
that's what
think
you did.
I think that's what I did. So, okay, so left one first is only a 6
Okay, that misses.
or a 7. I mean, sorry. and-
KAC, right?
Yeah, because this is the needler
Yeah,
pistol.
That misses.
Okay, and then the right one is a that's a 14, 17 KIC.
That one hits.
Or no, 18 KIC. Okay, so he's going to do a 6. 1d6 is 1 point of damage. And this one on the right side takes 1 point of damage, and he is has -2 to his AC for 7 rounds.
That white one is -2 AC for 7 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
-2?
-2, yep.
Okay. Is that all you're gonna do?
That's his turn, yep.
Okay, next is Toro, because the Panther's dead.
Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He's moving all the way up here. And
You can also throw your spear.
I can, can't I? But what I'm going to do is call up my sword, my junk sword, which is a standard action spell cast.
Is your junk armor a cast too?
Yeah, but remember I told you I did that earlier, and it lasts 24 hours.
24 hours, okay.
So I do it once a day, and then I got it on all day, basically.
Do you have the spell salts for that?
That one, remember, I get a free cast of either junk sword or junk armor. I get a free cast a day. So my plan is going to be
Just always have a junk armor. Got it.
basically that's my
Okay, I
plan,
remember that now.
and then I don't have to keep track of it. But I did take away one spell slot to cast junk sword. So now he's standing there with a junk sword. If they do a ranged attack, then I can do opportunity attacks because they're within reach.
Got it.
Just so you know,
Okay.
or at least on one of them, you can only do one reaction. So,
Mhm.
and that's my turn because it was a move and a standard.
Okay. Okay. Next is Fen.
Who now has a big bull in front of him.
Yeah, so Fen will move 30 feet. 5, 15, 20, 30.
Well, that'd be
that right?
that'd be 25, right? Because if it alternates,
Yeah.
and then another.
Actually, I'm going to go that way. So I don't have that cover there.
Okay.
Now I'm going to say... I can't say get him because I already moved. So no get him this turn.
But that one has a -2 to AC, just so you know already. If you're shooting
That's
at the
right.
one with the chip.
shooting at the one on the right. Tactical pistol. Kapoo! Natural 1.
Oh, that could have gone the whole other way.
Okay. So that is Fen's turn. And then next are the two Demai. So there are going to do a...
Nothing.
Okay. Are you reading your character sheet and you're realizing things?
No, I just refreshed and it kicked me all the way out. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
slow loading.
Okay. The two Demai. That one right there is going to do a guarded step up to you. So it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack.
Right.
It's going to swipe at you. It's going to whip out its survival knife and try to swipe at you for 12 against your KAC.
That's a miss.
Okay. And the other one is going to do a guarded step back.
Jerk. Yep.
And
Now he's
then-
out of my range.
Shoot at you with a semi-auto pistol for a 13 to KAC.
Miss.
Jeez, these guys suck.
Okay, they're like stormtroopers.
Okay. That is their turn. Top of the round is Turin. You are now fully attuned. For what were you doing?
Photon.
Photon, that's right.
So, I'm going to, if I've counted this correctly, I still don't quite understand movement when you're this big. I'm thinking 5, 10.
Just go based off of the intersection of 4.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're already. You don't have to count that block because you're already on that block. Right? Because you're on. You basically take up these 4 blocks right
Yeah.
here. So you're already there. So that's your first move of 5, basically.
Well, what?
Right? Because you're already in this block. So you're already in this block because
It's
you
easier
take up all those 4.
if you
right?
don't count like the blocks, but count like the intersection of 4 blocks, the cross. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a whole barrier. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize the sword stuck out so far when I picked it. So I'm thinking 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I could go 30 if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
I'm counting that right? Okay, I'm going to go there. Actually, let me count this for you. Yeah, because you're 15 feet away from me there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. And then I'm going to do my supernova, my stellar revelation, which for whatever reason doesn't get pulled up on this character sheet. So I deal 1d6 plus an additional 1d6 to all creatures within 10 feet of me, and then it's a that doesn't count. If a creature succeeds at a reflex save, they take half damage.
Nice.
So still another 1. So 7.
7.
And then a +1 because you're attuned.
8.
That's good because that helps the rounding down if he saves.
So what was it, 8?
8. Yes.
And they have to roll a reflex?
Yeah, reflex save.
Okay. What's your DC for that? And is it just the one, or is it?
It should just be that one guy.
Yeah,
I
just the
think.
one guy.
Ooh, natural 20 reflex save.
Oh.
Dang.
So DC
Oh,
don't
here we
matter.
go. Wait.
It's still cut in half, though, right? The damage.
Oh, we'd have to look up your DC. But a natural 20 wins
Let's
no
race.
matter what.
Yeah.
So
See who can do it.
10 plus half your level, so that's 0, plus their charisma modifier. What's your charisma?
3.
So 13.
Should write that down somewhere. Okay, so it makes a save, but it still gets half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Half damage, so 4.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay. That one is looking pretty rough.
Woot.
The other one is still untouched, though, so calm down.
Whatevs.
Okay. Next is Kem.
Okay, Kim is going to... Alright, so he's not being blocked by Toro, where he's at. The other guy is, though. Okay, so he is going to, again, do... Oh, I didn't mark off my darts before.
You did 2 shots, right?
Yep. Okay, so his plan is to... I'm going to take a shot at both of them again. I'll
And
get a
they-
-2 going through
Yep.
Toro, right? Is that how it works?
Yes, but they also have a -2 AC from the thing you
just,
shot it with.
just the one with the
That's right.
white, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I take away -2, but they're he's -2, so I'm going to go with the poker chip guy first.
Okay.
For a 14, 18, so it'd be a 16 to his KAC -2.
That hits. Yep.
Okay, so that's and he's already got a biohack on him, so I'm not going to do another one. So this is just a pistol shot, or a dart for 5 points of damage. Now this one over here on the left
Okay.
is a 12, 16 versus
That-
KAC.
That hits.
All right, and he's going to do also the, so he's getting a -2 to AC. So that's 3 biohacks that I've used. Or no, 4, because I blew one of them. No. Yeah, because I put 1 on Toro to start. I shot 2, and then I shot
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
1 here.
So
okay.
4.
So that's all my biohacks. That's only 1 point of damage, but he's also -2 to AC now as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Support, not much damage. All right, so both of them are -2 to AC, and that's for 7 rounds. The other one's got 6 rounds left. Toro's got 2 rounds left on his plus to AC.
Okay, it's Toro's turn.
Okay, so Toro is, let's see, that other dude's out of range, so he's just going to do a, yeah, can't even get in flanking because they're far enough apart. So he's just going to do a swing with his sword.
Okay. They have -2 to AC.
They have -2, so he's going to do a full attack. So I'm going to do 2 swings with the sword, so -2 to my roll.
Yes.
What's that? An 11. That's a so 15 -2 would be 13 to his KAC -2.
That hits.
All right, and that's a D4. Now check this out, though.
Nice.
8 points of damage.
What? 8?
Yeah.
It was 18.
I rolled a 1, and he did 8 points of
What?
damage. Because it's
That's ridiculous.
He's a junk guy, so he gets extra on his
Okay.
spell.
GM note: no more melee with Toro.
Yeah, but he's also almost down. 10, 14, so that'd be a 12 to his KAC -2.
Okay, that hits.
That still hits. That's 10 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
That's so crazy.
Okay. So you want to describe what
So-
you're doing?
So
with
he's
your,
got this big. It's the spell's called Junk Sword, but he kind of makes it look like a flailish looking thing when he's swinging it, and he swings it once and twice, and that's it.
just boom, boom, and the Demai just falls flat to the floor.
Dead.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay, so
So that one's gone.
is gone. Okay, and that's your full turn. Next is Fen. Not gonna move. Just say get him, and give us a +1 to it. +1 to attack rolls on that remaining Demai.
And he's got -2 to AC.
Yeah, so he's hurting. And then I'm gonna say that he can shoot him without soft cover. Just 'cause
Yeah,
of
because
how
he's
big,
got
yeah.
a corner.
It's 11 to KAC, which is going to hit. For 6 max damage for a D6, and that one just boom. That one falls to the floor as well.
Dang.
That was quick.
Now, I was kind of thinking, should we have tried to keep one of them alive so that we could talk to them?
That sounds like something that the captain should say beforehand.
Well, I wasn't
before
planning on
mission.
you rolling a 6. I was going to say it when it was my turn, but we didn't get that far.
Just so you know, you don't have to wait for your turn for combat banter.
Well, too late now.
Okay, so all the enemies are down in this room. Roll a perception check to look around and see what you find.
And we want to loot.
You want to loot?
Yep.
Turin rolled a 13 for perception.
17, so Toro got a 21. Kim got a 17. Loot.
Okay, so after you loot them, you find 32 rounds of small arm ammunition.
That'll be for you, right?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Don't worry.
2 intra-ship comm units. So you could use them to communicate with like other comm units on the same system within the ship.
So if they got any friends, maybe
Hmm.
they told them
I
we were
doubt
here.
that they
then.
were alone.
Yeah.
2 pairs of binders, which are like handcuffs. You guys both can't write it down.
Yes, we can. Well, we've started. We can't stop now, or else one of us will be wrong.
Okay. 2 Estic suits, which are probably going to be useless. You're just going to sell them because your guys' suits are better. 12 rations. And that's all you get from them.
Didn't they have knives?
Okay. You're right.
All I know is knives have a thrown property.
Yeah. You get 2 survival knives, which are plus whatever your
Well, they're operative,
yeah,
right?
they're
So
operative.
they're dex.
But when you throw it, they're based on strength.
Oh, I thought operative still meant dex too.
It is for like if you swing it, but
Oh,
when you
but not
throw
for
it,
throwing?
because it's how hard you can throw it.
Ah.
Right? Yeah, that's a Starfinder thing.
Yeah, my strength's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Solid 0.
Well, you went dex
Do you
based.
have any like numbers besides 0?
Look,
Did you play the game?
His
Did
dex,
you-
his dex and charisma is nice, which is what he needs, being a dex-based Solarian.
But there are so many different skills and stuff. You. Okay.
Whoa! Look, I only got to pick like 2 to specialize in.
4. Okay.
So as you guys
Picked ones you had negatives in.
look around the room, because this is the security office, you find 3 anti-gravity grenades, Mark 1,
Ooh.
and Fen would be taking at least one of those, potentially 2, because he's a grenade guy.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You find well, I also forgot to say that they each have a tactical semi-auto pistol, so 2 semi-auto pistols. You find a Idaran force training baton. So this is like a normal baton. It's really light and thin, and then as you like swing it to attack for like a operative melee thing, it like gathers up electromagnetic energy like through the air, and then so when it strikes, it does blunt damage. So one of those, and then one cryo spike, personal cryo spike, which is an advanced melee weapon. And so this is something that like, it's an advanced melee weapon. You use one hand to do it. It actually got started as like a fire extinguishing equipment, but it discharges a spike of hypercooled fluid that can be used to damage a target or put out a fire.
Okay.
And there's one of those.
Good to know.
That's all like the loot that you find. This is pretty looted. And in addition to that, you also find a couple computer consoles in the security office.
All right. So I need to. So if I spend 10 minutes, I can replenish my biohacks.
Great.
So I want to do that while we're resting up.
Is that a resolve point, or is that just 10 minutes?
That's just 10-minute short rest. Now I can't spend the same 10 minutes if I wanted to spend a resolve.
Okay.
So I would have to spend another 10 minutes. I
Do
would
you know how
recommend.
short rest work. Did you read about that?
No.
Okay, so you can do a short rest, right, which is like 10-minute short rest on D&D, but you don't like gain anything back. You have to spend a resolve point to get your stamina back. but you can't do anything to get your HP back unless you like take like a serum of healing or something like that.
Yeah, even if you're resting for a whole night, you only get 1 HP back.
Oh, cool.
Well, or is it per level? It's like something per level, I think, is
I'm
what
not
it is.
sure.
Yeah, but I'm going to spend a resolve on Toro because he lost all his stamina.
And you got to be careful with your resolve points because they can be used for abilities. They can be used for that, but also they're used when you're doing death saving throws.
Yeah. So if you die, if you go down, you spend you normally you take 1 round and you spend 1/4 of your resolve to stabilize. Then you're still unconscious, and then the next turn you can spend another resolve point to get up to 1, and then you can get up and you can have that turn.
But if
Now-
you go down and you're unconscious and you don't have any resolve points, you're dead.
Well, or I stabilize you. You've got a guy who's got some first aid skills.
And you also have a level 1 or level 2 spell ampule of stabilize. Don't forget.
That is true.
I know you both wrote that down. You only have 1 though.
Well, we're auditing our lists. Also, so just so you know, I did my 1 feat that I picked. I picked the Die Hard feat, which means I can do all of that in 1 round. Because I knew that I was wimpy and probably going to die.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So you're doing on cam. You're going to do the 10-minute.
so I'm going to
biohacks.
tell everybody I need 10 minutes to do to replenish my supply, and then I'll fiddle with the computers.
Do you want to do anything in that time? Do you need to do any rests?
No, I didn't take any hits, and I don't have any points that I used.
What's your computer skill? 0.
It's pretty good. It's pretty high up there. Is there any pictures that I would be able to interpret?
This is a
is there this is a security office? Is there like tapes rolling that I could use, like see without having to do any work?
So you need to access the computer system to look at the tapes. But do you have? Are you like roll a culture check for me?
12. Which I don't know why that one has no bonus, because I literally picked that as my where is it at? I just saw it.
Is one of your training?
Skill adept, culture and disguise, and my culture is still +0. So my disguise is +3, but
Well, that's because it's based off wisdom. What's your wisdom?
0.
Yeah.
Culture is intelligence, though.
Well, what's your intelligence? It's -2.
0. But it's either I would think.
Yeah,
like,
we'll have to look at that because that sure seems like you should have more.
Because I swear, I spent literally my whole shift 3 weeks ago doing nothing but looking over this. I made sure that I did everything.
Now, your boss doesn't listen to this podcast.
I don't. I'm quitting soon anyway.
Your boss doesn't listen to the podcast, right?
Okay, so with your 12 or whatever culture check, if you I don't know if you noticed or if I said it, but the Demai, like they said, they have the gray skin. Like you've seen other Demai. They're not like a rare race. Like you've seen them along outside walking around Absalom Station. However, these ones had a purple tint in the whites of their eyes, like the eyes of Debad from Dune, except it's purple instead of blue. And you know that's not like a common thing. You haven't seen that before in the Demai.
Okay.
Oh, and you also know that when right before they started attacking, one of them said "Getag" to the seemingly to the panther. That isn't Daimalkan, which is the language of the Demai.
Okay. Is there any way of discerning what language it is, even if we
No.
don't know the language?
Not with the roll that you did.
Well, I meant, can anybody do anything to discern the language?
If you can get access to a computer system with InfoSphere, you could probably do the space Google of it.
Spoogle.
Spoogle. Okay. Anything else you want to do in the meantime while he's doing his resting?
I think we're good.
Okay. So, with your 12 or whatever culture check, you if you know
No?
I want to do computers checks once I'm free, but
Okay. Okay, so we'll say
and
that.
just so you know, you picked culture as a class skill, but that doesn't give any bonuses unless you put a rank in it when you pick. So.
Well, then why
And-
is that
and you
even an
didn't-
option then?
And you didn't have a lot of ranks. Well, so next level you'll be able to put some ranks in.
Oh, cool. Next
And-
level.
Yeah.
I'll
Well-
be able to do something.
I mean, he's keeping track of XP, so.
Yeah.
All right, computer check was Wissy. That's a natural 1.
Well, we can say that you if you want to, you can take like a take 20 to do it.
I'll take 20 to do it.
Okay, so like a take 20 is you just kind of sit there and you do it enough times that you
It's
equivalence of
brute
rolling it a bunch
forcing
of
it.
times. Brute force, yes.
So that's a 32 then.
Okay, so you get into the computer system without any issue, and because it's a security office, you have access to a whole bunch of different tapes, recordings of security office. And then, so while you're looking through it, you go back to about the time that you noticed the log was, and then you find a recording of the captain broadcasting it to the rest of the ship, and then to the security office saying, "Help! Help! They're attacking the deck. They're gonna take over." And that's the end of it right there. And that is all of the latest recording that you have access to from the security office.
Is there a timestamp? Would this have been recent, a month ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah, so you do have a timestamp. This was and I think you had one in the logs too that I said. It was shortly a year or so after they departed.
Okay.
And you were watching it too. You noticed that the captain didn't have the purple around the whites of their eyes.
Okay. So an insurgent group of whatever they're called.
Mind flayer people.
Dummies?
Demai.
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 Well, so the original crew was Demai, right? But he's kind of indicating that they had
A separate group of Demai that pulled up.
well, either that or if they had purple around their eyes, maybe he's kind of indicating, and they're speaking different languages. Maybe there's some sort of mind control thing going on.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
After you tell me that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Fen might.
All right, all right. Okay. So I think we're gonna end it there for this session.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, also, you guys, what was the perception check that someone rolled? Did you roll a perception check?
The last check I rolled was culture, I believe.
Okay, roll a perception check. This is you grabbing things as they're taking a rest.
6.
6. Okay. So you are able to just gather up 60 UPBs, just walking around, grabbing useful stuff.
I'll take that. I mean, that's almost as much as we got when we first got here, so Risa
Yeah.
sucks too.
She only
So-
got 120.
And she's got a big robot arm. She's from the ship doing that.
Well,
I'm
you
just
got
on
a
my
big
body,
big tall skinny arm. but-
This is just you adding things to the dispenser, the space was it space wagon?
the space wagon.
Space wagon.
So when we are, what's our contract say? Stuff that we loot off these bad guys, do we get to keep that, or is that part of the contracted, we're turning this stuff in?
That's at your discretion. What
Well,
you
I'm-
want to give up and what you want to.
I'm sure
Keep-
Garflax would respect, a little underhandedness if we, say, didn't necessarily report all that we had found. He seems like the kind of guy who would be like,
He writes that off as cost of business.
yeah. I mean, he's hiring,
Garflax would probably encourage it.
He would be
disappointed if we didn't.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. That's fun.
Okay. We'll end it there, and we'll pick it up next time whenever we play next.
Yes, first encounter was a success.
Yes.
Yes, that is all. We will catch you guys next time
On Table Topplers.
on Table Topplers.
Thank
That
you.
button.